Absolutely. I think King James has proven everything he needs to prove in regular season and in playoffs. He's only playing for championships. And I don't think that when this season started or when he woke up this morning, he was thinking, whoa, we've made a lot of progress. This is not 18, 19, 20-year-old LeBron who's just happy to be here and is trying to get the experience. He's about winning championships. He's done it enough in the past that coming up short again, with that's guaranteed to be a disappointment, and I'm sure he would consider it a failure.
Your Honor, Ms. Karam, may I approach the witness?
Yes, yes.
I'd like to cross-examine him.
Oh, here we go.
Sure.
I told you I only listen to Karam queries, not Max.
That's why I got her permission, Dominique.
Okay,
You see how I did that?
If she
I
approves.
circumvented your whole...
Okay,
your
if
whole...
she approves.
Yes, right. Let me ask you something. Who's the favorite in this finals?
Warriors.
Who are you expecting to win?
Warriors.
Would it be an upset? Would it be fair to say that it's an upset if the Cavs win?
Fair.
Okay. So what we can conclude here is that it's not actually a zero-sum game. Yes, there's a thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. That's sports. That's why we love it. Winner and loser. But in terms of how it affects our perception of the players, in terms of their experience of the season and how we experience the season and how we rate their success or failure relative to the rest of the league, to history, to each other, to the teams they're facing, it's not a zero-sum game. In other words, we can't both sit here and say both that LeBron would score this miraculous, heroic, historical upset and approach Jordan territory should he win, and that it's a failure if he loses. It can't be both. It's one or the other. It's not hero or GOAT in this situation. But you're making it that.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what world you live in, but I could ask you some questions. The first one I would ask you is, could you read the question that Molly asked? And I'll read it for you. It was, would it be a failure for LeBron? Yes. No. Go ask LeBron. I guarantee you, if you ask him today, hey, excuse me, Mr. LeBron Raymond James, may I ask you a question? If you lose today or you lose this series, will it be a failure? I guarantee you he says yes. We all know it will be a failure of a season. It'll be disappointing. The fact that you're an overdog, just the fact that you're an overdog or an underdog, none of that matters to him. He's not concerned with Max Kellerman's perspective on how good a season it was for him. He's concerned with Larry O'Brien trophies. That's why LeBron plays the game. So you either get the trophy or you don't get the trophy.
I see your strategy.
You either succeed or you fail. Please, you may see the strategy, but you can't stop it.
Where a question could possibly be interpreted incorrectly, you intentionally, it seems to me, misinterpret the question. Not for LeBron, as in from his point of view, what does he feel about it? We are not doing faces on sticks here. I'm not talking for LeBron, and neither are you really. That's not the point of the question.
Faces on sticks?
What we mean, yes, of course. What we mean is, by the question pretty clearly, Molly, correct me if I'm wrong, is how will this be viewed by me and you and Tony and Mike and Stephen A. and Dan Levin and everybody else in the sports media? How will history record this season if LeBron doesn't defeat a team that is the prohibitive favorites in these finals? Not faces on six. I'm LeBron James. I consider it a success or a failure.
I won that question in the previous form. I'll move on to win it in this form also. You think that you brought up history. So you think 20 years from now, we're going to look back and say, what a great season LeBron had. That 16-17 season was tremendous. No one's going to remember or care how well he showed or how good he did against this great Warriors team. It's going to be championships. So we've been talking about for 2 days now, Max. LeBron's career is being graded by championships at this point. Not regular season performance, not playoff runs, championships. So after the finals is over, we will all look back at this and determine whether he won or lost. We're not going to say, well, but there was such a tough team that they were facing up against. No one cares. No one looks back when he got swept by the Spurs and says, hey, that's okay. Tough team. Way to go, LeBron. Please, ask me more.
So let me ask you this. Since Bird and Magic lost in the finals, too, they weren't Jordan. They weren't undefeated in the finals. There's only one Jordan. Since they also lost in the finals, every time they lost in the finals, was that a failure of a season, even when they were the underdogs going into the finals?
I'll answer your question with a question. Do we count how many times players have gone to the finals? No, we count how many titles they win. That's
but
what
we don't
care
really
about.
Count how many they lose, do we?
That's what we care about. Of
right,
course
but we don't count.
Of course we don't.
Off the top of your head, how many finals did Larry Bird lose?
I don't know. I didn't watch
neither.
Larry Bird.
I can't tell you off. I'd have to count them up. Magic, I know, was 5 and 4 because I did radio in LA for 5.5 years with Marcellus Wiley. That's why I know Magic was 5 and 4 in the finals.
I'm not sure.
Otherwise, I'd only remember the wins. I wouldn't count the losses. So if you're making that argument, then you'd have really the argument you're making is we remember the losses in the finals. In order for this season to be a failure, that would have to be the case.
No, the argument I'm making is that we remember the wins, and he remembers the wins. So we all care about the wins. We're going to count up the wins. We're not. Every season for LeBron James that he does not win a title is a failure for LeBron James at this point in his career. I don't understand how anyone can look at it anywhere else. Like, while you may be able to parse all these other details about how well he's played, how close he came to triple-doubles.
Argument.
I did make the argument that
Who
we
are
care
you
about
and what
winning.
have you done with Domonique Foxworth? You just made the argument for a day and a half now with me on TV. I spent 3 hours in the last 48 with you arguing, and you have been making the argument the entire time that it would be such a miraculous accomplishment if LeBron overcomes the Warriors that you would put him past Jordan. And therefore, if he doesn't accomplish a miracle, he's a failure.
No, he's not a failure, but this season is a failure. You are putting
words
in my mouth.
Season's a failure.
That's what the question is about. Does he consider not winning the finals, not winning the finals as a success or failure? Like, Max, the people who are watching this show are not dumb enough to be confused by this maze of logic that you're spinning. Everyone understands.
LeBron James gets extra credit, the reason you would put him over Jordan, I wouldn't, but you would put him over Jordan is because it's such an unlikely occurrence that he can take this team past this juggernaut in Golden State that just won 73 games, came within a shot of winning back-to-back titles, and added Kevin Durant in place of Harrison Barnes, that it would be so unlikely and so miraculous that you would give him all this extra credit. Therefore, if he doesn't achieve what seems impossible, it's a failure.